Good morning. It is Sunday morning, and it's time to roll up your sleeves and get busy with some coding, right? Okay. Um, so yesterday evening, when we parted, uh, I was in a process of writing a single spec. I have two outstanding PRs on my little project, which is the little Pranzo system, and Pranzo stands for lunch in Italian. And what we are building is a gift card and lunch voucher management system. It's basically a loyalty program, platform for restaurant owners, and we are building that using React and using Ruby on Rails for the backend API part. So I'm gonna go on and get my. I'm gonna navigate to my projects here. So let's see, what do we have here? LS. This is the right, the Rails project. That's good. This means that I could open this one up, and we have it right here. Might be a little too big for this screen, but I'm gonna open this up. So whenever my friend Mike from Agile Ventures wakes up, no, I'm kidding, joins, then we will set up a live sharing session and ask people to join in if they want to join in. And that means that you can also participate using audio. And we have a new follower, which is very nice. Elrod Rix 398. Thanks for the follow, and good morning to you. Happy Easter, if you celebrate Easter. I don't know. Now we're gonna set up a live session, and this means that Mike's gonna be able to join us with sound as well. And if anybody else would like to join, let me know. I will be letting you in into my code base, so I have to know you a little bit first. But just say hi, and if you promise to be nice, we can do a live coding session as well. Now, let me just. So one thing that I need to do is to run my tests. Well, actually, I can run them. I can run them here, I guess, right? So we don't have to open up this thing. There is one test that I will be writing today and adding to the test suite, and that is a test for a serializer. When we serialize our vendor, yeah. So when we create the vendor, which was the feature that we worked on last night, we are sending off some data to the vendor endpoint, and when we respond with the 201, which is created, and then the vendor object, we are using a serializer. And I just want to, in order for this to be finished, I should make sure that we write a spec for this one, and also a spec for a scenario where we actually create some addresses, because we don't create a business address in this feature yet, so we probably need to add that as well. So right, the scope kind of broadens. I really want to get rid of this now, I'm going to write the serializer spec, and I'm going to serialize addresses because they are associated, and then we're off we go. Off we go. We're gonna merge this thing. I'm not interested in spending too much time in this because you see when when you start thinking about everything at all time, then the scope of a feature just grows and grows and grows, and you have to cut it short. I mean, you have to say this is the definition of done, and it's very hard when you work on a solo project like I do right now. When you work in a professional setting, then you can, you usually agree upon a definition or a scope of a feature. We're gonna do this, this, and that, and not deal with anything else, and then you are good to go. Now, when you do like I am doing at the moment, working, a little bit on myself, then you keep on finding new ways to do things, and there's a danger that you end up jumping back and forward from one thing to another, and at the end of the day, everything just turns to shit and becomes chaos. So anyway. Uh, Let me just pull this up. Where's my code? There it is. Right, so I have this spec here, which is like, let's see. Um, right, product spec, admin specs, and serializers. Right. So I'm gonna say new file, and I'm gonna say vendors show serializer spec.rb. Right. And I'm gonna be a bit lazy here. Right, so we're creating a user serialization to JSON. Right, so I can just copy this actually, because I can't be bothered writing all of that. The less code you have to write, the better, right? Right. So we're just going to say describe. Is this it? Yay. And we're going to describe not as a string, but rather as a constant. So we're going to say vendors show serializer. That's better for us. And then I'm just going to paste this and going to say vendor create vendor, and we're just going to say vendor here, and this will give us this setup actually gives us a subject. So let's see, we could just say it and then binding pry. Oops, sorry, not there. Here, right. And with this setup, I should, in principle, be able to get that done. Right. So let's have a look what subject is now. Let's make this bigger. Subject, and we have a subject, which is the representation of this resource in JSON. However, Instagram friendly food, well, we probably want to change that in the factory. So for those of you who didn't follow along what just happened, is that it's perfectly fine, because there's a lot of things happening here. So here I'm creating an object, a faked object, using a factory that I have set up before, and in that factory we have some basic attributes. So we have a vendors factory here, and that's why we misspelled this Instagram here. So this is the basic factory. That's how every fake object will look. What a fake object would look like if we don't tell it anything else, right? So so the concept of faked objects in test environment could be a bit hard for people that are not used to testing, but or but it's like you don't want to have to create everything from scratch. You want to use factories or doubles or fakes or mocks or whatever you want to call them. But here we are creating a vendor. We're giving it a default name that can be overwritten, description, primary email, and then we also upload a logo type in test environment, and also but let's go over to the spec. Then we actually create this serialization here, and that looks something like that in test. That's the whole object, serializer object, and that doesn't do much for us because we could of course test against this so we know that things are happening as they are supposed to happen, but we're more interested in the actual JSON output, which is why we are creating them in the first place. So therefore we just say the serialization to JSON, and that is this. But since this is kind of hard to test for, then we actually parse this into a JSON object. So we actually get something that we can use in our test environment, and that's what we are doing. Right. So we want to write a few tests just to say, check what's going on, and we don't want to say does something, but rather is expected to. Is expected to what? Well, I'm just gonna probably write a few of these, so I might just copy this like this. Let's do 3, and let's take a look. What did we say here? Expect subject keys to match voucher. Right, so this test is actually okay. I can use that. It's not a very good test, but this should be vendor. Right, and then what else are we testing for here? Is it relevant keys? Yeah, we could say that. So the keys that we are expecting to have is ID, name, description, and then users. But we will also have addresses. Addresses, and then that's about it. And this will fail for us because we don't have addresses yet. What else can we have? Is expected to have a specific structure. Yeah, why not? We can test that for the structure. So let's just do that, and this is vendor, and we have an ID, and we have this we do not have. We have name, and that should be a string, and we should have a description. Description, and it's an instead of a string, and then we have email. Yeah, well, we need to have the primary email. We need to have the primary email. Right. The primary email is the email to the restaurant itself. Primary email. Right. Let's see. I'm just gonna tell my friends here. Mike is saying something in Slack, so I'm just gonna check out what he's saying. Hi Thomas. Right. Let's deal with that later. Um, I would like to access some of the old docs, some of the old marketing documents. All right. Online in stream now. Right. Let's see. Right. You see, that's why it's good to write tests, because when you write those tests, you start to think, and when you think, you tend to come up with shit. So that's why I like to write tests, and it's also good to read the tests, which is something that I'm actually not good at. Well, I am good, but I should probably do it a little more, because if you've been away from your code base for a while, it's good to read through your test suite, and it's also nice to group it and have a specific structure, so if you want to read a specific, if you're going to work with a specific part of the application, then it's better for you to read through that particular part and not everything. So that's the deal. Then you end up actually, you reusing perhaps the good parts of your tests and so on. Well, you see this matcher that this should be a string with an @ sign. Why not? We can say that. So we can remove this, and we can just put this up, primary email, and we need to have not transactions but users, an instance of array, and we want two addresses to be an instance of an array too as well, right? Addresses. Is that double S? I don't know. Let's try it with double S on that. We'll see. Okay. And if I have any people in the chat that are better than me on Twitch, could you explain to me one thing? I think there's a perfectly reasonable explanation to this, but sometimes I get like right now I see that I have 6 people in chat, or 5 people in chat, but I only have 1 viewer. Is that because they are not like super active viewers, like they have this app in an active tab or something? I would like to know. If you know, write in the chat. And if you want to know what I am working on, this is the project that I am currently working on. There's a link to that deployed site should you want to check it out. And let's just make the box a little bigger like this. And actually I'm just gonna say 800 on this, like this, right? And move it here. Did I just clear the chat? I don't know what happened. So I'm gonna do this project again. Right. Okay. Sorry about that. Now let's move on, folks. Let's move on. It's time to start to run this thing. So I'm going to run the one on 11 first. Oops. There we go. And that should fail. And it fails. Unexpected. Okay. What? I think there's double S here. But why would that be an unexpected? Addresses an instance. Oh, there's a comma missing. There you go. Okay, next. Next up. You're up. Right, so that worked. The model name works. So let's run the one on 16. This one should give me some errors. Right. Of course. Because it's not voucher, but vendor. That's what you get when you're not careful copying code from yourself. You see this now and you think, oh, he's copying code, but everybody does it, and that's not a bad thing, because why would you? I mean, you don't have to force yourself to always write code. If you're smart about it, you can reuse this. I always say, when you're new at things, when you're learning, then you should write as much code as possible. That's really, really important. But when you're working, you can reuse code. That's perfectly fine, but you need to be careful with that. Now, we do not have addresses. We need to fix that, so we're going to go to our serializer that is on vendors, and then it has many addresses. Has many addresses, right? It's 1S. Okay. So I need to fix that. So we can close this one. And we need to get that off. And we're gonna run that particular spec. And now we are missing the primary email. Okay. So we need to get the primary email in here. And we're gonna run this again. And now this one is going green. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And so the next one we want to run is the one on 21. And this could be considered as testing a little too much. Right, so we have the vendor, we have the addresses, and instance of array. Why would current value be the fuck off value? This is like my attempt to test typing. Well, yeah. So I spoke about this with many people. I have those serializer specs in my flow, Gideon. I'm gonna just give you my argument for why I'm testing them. I want to be sure that the structure of my serialization is in a specific way. That the output looks in a specific way, because that simplifies my request specs later. I avoid any surprises, whether I have those associated objects or not, and it helps me to keep my request specs as simple as possible. So I kind of like this. The only one that I would really argue perhaps is totally unnecessary is this one. But I can also sense that I want to make sure that these are collections and so on. But I don't know. I would say that this one could go. But I really liked the fact that I'm in control of the uh, of the of the structure on the keys that we have on the object. So that's they have served me fairly well, so I include them in my projects often. Uh, but I wouldn't force anybody else to do that. I wouldn't like it's not a hard requirement when I work on something. I wouldn't like uh, impose that on anybody else. But for my personal use, these are serving me fairly well. And good morning, Mike. How you doing? There we go. I'm gonna set up a live share, and Mike and Gideon, you can uh, join in. I'm gonna post this link in chat. Join the live session if you want to take part in the coding and chat using audio. There we go. So there we go. And if you want to join, you join. We all get confused by the time, That's no problem. All right. Um, um, do 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 do. Right. Um, and we see Mike joining in. Let's see if we're gonna hear him. An audio call. Oh, I need to start the audio call. I didn't start the audio call, so I forgot that one. Let's see. He probably needs to rejoin that or something. Let's see if we can hammer
Yeah,
that.
I think
Oh, there you go.
I I did start an audio call. I saw they asked me to do it.
Oh, okay, okay.
Uh,
I hear you loud and clear now. But what I did
Thank
notice
you.
yesterday was that I think I need to make this audio, desktop audio, a little, the same level as my speech because your voice was not coming across that good. And so I'm just
Okay.
gonna, but it should be okay. I'm just gonna lower the music. I don't know if the guys if the music comes across on Twitch.
Huh. Or maybe it's using my headsets for the audio. That normally
Yeah,
messes things up.
yeah.
I
But
don't know how to make my output.
no, but now it seems like on my indications, like my indicator says that you are on in the when you speak, you're in the yellow zone, so that should be okay now on the output. Uh,
All right.
right. Now, so Gideon, if you download VS Code, you're gonna have to download a specific extension then called LiveShare. I can talk you through this, or we can talk you through this if you want. Once you have VS Code installed, so just let us know. Uh,
Yeah, I think Gideon has used the VS Code Live Share before.
oh,
The only thing I think he hasn't used is the audio bit,
mm-hmm.
the
Okay.
VS Code audio. So
Uh,
yeah, I think once you get set up, you need to set up with the VS Code audio call
mm,
thing,
mm. Yeah, it's a
and
separate
that
it's a
will,
separate extension, right?
yeah, it's a separate extension.
Cool. Goody goody. Right. So um, let's see. I have another question to myself here about the factory for the addresses. Right. So we're doing latitude and longitude here, but we don't really need to do that yet. So that's why these are commented out. Um, right, 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 right. And is there a serializer for addresses? No. but we don't have to have everything in place at the moment. Uh, right. Vendor. Right. No, actually, I need to have that. So I'm just gonna generate that real quickly, but I don't need to set create a spec for that. So we're just gonna say Rails generate serializer addresses show, and then we're just gonna say ID. No ID, actually we don't have to need. I just gonna say street, postcode, and then city, and then country. Right, because yeah, let's see what that gives us. No spelling mistakes. Addresses now, I think. Serializer. Right on. And we'll can have a look at that. In the serializers, addresses show serializer. It does include ID by default. I don't need the ID actually on this one. So, and then I'm just gonna copy this one, and I'm gonna go to the vendor serializer, show serializers, and then we're just gonna say serializer colon addresses show serializer, and I just want to make sure that we're all good on that, so I could right. Let's close all of these stuff. I think we can close this one, we can close this one, close this, and this, and we want to just run a spec. Vendor can be created, and we are actually creating an address here. And we could in principle run this one. Well, I can run the whole thing actually. We're doing good on this, and we want right, so we just want to run the one on 39 now that we know everything is passing. So 39, and I forgot to set sorry, not here, to set the binding pry here, binding pry. So yesterday I was experimenting a little bit with a different screen. So I have this this screen that I'm using at the moment, but I also have a wide screen, and I had that set up yesterday. And I think that I was talking to Mike, and Mike said that he couldn't really see what I was doing on screen when watching my stream, unless I assume he was watching it full screen mode, but I don't think people do that. So this is better with a smaller screen and a different setup. Now I have some overlays and you know, things disturbing the you know, what you see on screen, but I think this is better than the widescreen. But let me know in the comments below. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, let's have a look at the response now. I just want to see what this object looks like. And we have the vendor object, we have the ID, which is needed, we have the restaurant, which is the name, description, primary email, we have users, and in this case, since we have created a user, and we also create a system user by default, that's good. And then we have two addresses, that's the best thing. Right. Remember, Mike, that if you're speaking, you have to unmute yourself, but that's okay. I see that you're writing, so I don't know if you're muted. Perhaps you weren't saying anything. Yesterday you forgot to unmute yourself twice, I think. Let's see. We have everything here. Postcode, city, Lucasville. Right, that's good. Good. Bam, 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 bam. I'm all good on that. Quit this. I'm gonna hit the green button and I'm gonna um, actually um merge my own code now because I am kind of done with this feature. Um just a comment about this: when you work on a solo project, even now that I have Mike with me and I'm doing this, in front of a live audience, it is what it is when you when you try to follow some sort of standards and practices. It's easy to kind of cheat, perhaps not write all the tests and so on. But also about this merging business, I never usually merge my own code. I always have somebody go through that and do a code review. But solo projects are solo projects, and it is what it is. Um, you have to get things done, and so you can't make an omelette without cracking a few eggs, I guess. No, but you can't move forward unless you actually merge some code. Uh, so you need to break a few rules from time to time, unfortunately. Um, oh, let's see. It's Easter Sunday today, people. I hope you guys will have a great day. You had a good day yesterday. Uh, but it it is what it is. Uh, right. Let's see. I'm gonna just happy Easter, everyone. Right. And then on the self promo here, we're just gonna let's just get that. Are we done with the tests? Yes, we are done with the tests. There we go. Okay. Righty on. We're done. We're just gonna commit and push, and we say adds adds address serializer
Mm.
and adds specs for vendor show serializer. Right. There we go. And we right, we need to, well, I can cancel this and just add these. Not used to this interface. There we go. All right.
Yippee.
Yay. And let's see. Exactly. Let's see if we can get this um, on on GitHub. Uh,
Yeah, I'm trying to switch rooms so that I don't get the noise when my little girls wake up. So that's
oh,
why I was.
yeah. It's perfectly fine. Uh,
Yeah.
I just assume that you're muted if you're not saying anything. So that's all good, brother.
Yeah.
No, don't worry about it. Let's see here. Right. And we have the pull requests, vendor create revisited. So this is it. We're gonna remove the VIP tag. Just gonna have a last look, so we don't merge any shitty code. We have five changed files. Uh, so a slight bump on the of some libraries. That's not a biggie, of course. And then
Hmm.
right, so that's there we go. Right, control the vendors controller. Right, so we're just serializing things. I changed this from 200 to 200 201. Uh, Historically, I was taught that it doesn't really matter. You can do a 200 when you make a post request, but since there is an HTTP code 201, then I reckon that I should probably use it. So that's why I'm responding with a 201 on this, on a create action. Your thoughts about that, Mike?
Yeah, for create, I think it should be 201.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then just for successful access to the server should be 200.
Yeah. Yeah.
But everyone has their
Exactly. But I wonder,
yeah.
what I wonder when you do a put or patch, HTTP for updated status. Like, is there an updated? Oh, 204. You see, 204 is mean resource updated successfully. So on a
Yeah.
put request, you can do a 204.
Yep.
Or no, well,
Gideon is sort of an expert in these
yeah.
HTTP stuff. Gideon, what do you think about update?
Yeah, 201. It says it's okay on that one, but I wonder. So because like so 204 is no content, so that's not a good one for put unless unless you actually respond with no content. 204 or
Mhm.
200, but we normally use 200. Yeah, yeah. One would say that there should be a status code for updated.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there is one for created, so they should have one for updated, and the deleted should also could also have its own code.
Yeah.
Operation
So
deleted has not been committed yet. If there's nothing to use to for deleted, you don't pretend deleted. So yeah, right. Uh, Data. If you want to send some additional data in the response, which we always, I mean, it depends, but in an API setting, right? You want to delete a resource, and then you just say, okay. You usually respond with something. You say, it was deleted, or something successfully, or whatever you say. So that would imply a 200. Anyway, uh, we have the user params, and you have the uh, because we address these. And yeah, so in the vendor params, I would just say address attributes. So that's how we are creating those associated objects. So we don't have to say. The only thing I need to do is to say vendor create with the vendor params, and that actually also creates the associated addresses because of the way I send in that data and how I set up the param sanitation. And then we have the user params, which I could probably do this in one single call. Right. I see a potential refactoring here. Well, we can use that later. We can do that later. User create, and then I'm rescuing from the validation error uh, here. That's what we worked on yesterday. Okay. Uh, and we have the serializers, and I changed this from equal to match because for some reason this is a totally unrelated spec, but for some reason this started to fail for me. Um, it's about sorting. I didn't want to deal with this, so I just made it really easy for me to change this from equal to match. Worked nicely, and we have this is good. I am not at all happy with these tests, um, but I would like you guys to turn the blind eye to that. It does, and don't see that as a reflection of my shortcomings as a developer or tester. But you should, the, my request specs are like acceptance tests, so we shouldn't even go, look at the created objects already. Like like we shouldn't get into the database, but I cheated a little bit here. Um, so
Hmm.
I should probably check the response and not the database object, right? But fuck it, who gives? I can always cheat. I can cheat. It's my stream, my project. I can do whatever I want. No, I can't. Of course you can't. But you see, I did that, so I'm just bullshitting my way out of this. Anyway, this is good. I can merge this for now, and any outstanding issues can be dealt with in in a consequent PR.
Yeah, yeah. Some other people normally argue towards using the. I think Rails have symbols for the
For
HTTP
yeah,
statuses, like 201 they have created, and
and
maybe
okay for
200.
200. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so yeah. People say it's more readable, but me, I think since you're coming from uh, the API point of view, I normally see people seem to understand the 201
yeah,
and 200s faster, but
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah,
I agree. So what I could use this, right, created like this, and here I could say unprocessable entity, but
yeah,
yeah, I I've used that sometimes, but it's I don't know it I yeah it is more readable. It is more readable, but it looks weird to me.
yeah.
It
That's the
looks a little
word. It
weird to me.
looks weird.
It's yeah, it's a level of abstraction that I can fuck. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see. So that is merged, and we're gonna see if we are actually pushing this out. Do I put do I don't have a continuous integration set up on this. I think never bothered to do that.
Hmm.
Uh, no, so I probably need to push this out. Let's see. Shit, I need to check my Heroku. Heroku. And again, new computer. So I have to log in. All right. Oh shit. Oh god. I need to go through my instances. You see, there's some really old applications here. I've been running Craft Academy, and I think I also have some leftover Agile Venture stuff, from when I was really active, and
Hmm.
some of them are really old, and some of them are not used, but some of them are actually still in use, and Heroku is deprecating their stacks, so all the red stuff that you see here are applications that needs to be upgraded, and this, let's see, where is that? I just saw it. Where is that? Certificates. This one needs to be. I need to fix that, because this is uh, this is a small Sinatra application that we wrote in 2014, as you can see. Uh,
Hmm.
right. And this one is still in use. Actually, we tried desperately to move away from this, but there's never enough time. So it's a Sinatra and Padrino app using Active Record, actually, but no, not Active Record. We are using Data Mapper, which is another ORM. And what we are doing here is that we are issuing our certificates using this application. So as you see, the interface sucks big time. But since 2016 forward, we've been issuing certs here, and so in this case here we had apparently 4 students that got their certificates, and so I can view the certificate, and you can see this, which is probably there's something wrong with this underscore, so that's probably not even in use. Let's have a look at another one. right. So we had 6 students, and we're generating these PDF certificates, right? And there's a date and my signature, but there's also a link here that we used to use the bit.ly shortener, and so if you click on that link, then we can see that this is a valid certificate for this particular person, right? And if you see, I don't know if you can see the the hashed value in the URL, but if I change anything in here,
Yep.
then you will get an invalid certificate, right? So it's a very basic, a very easy way to make sure that if you like, if you would go to an employer and you have forged this document, this PDF, because this PDF is very easy to forge. You just go in and edit this to your own name. Do you understand, right?
Yeah.
But if the employer would follow this link, he would see that it doesn't say Mike, it says Steve here. Do you understand? So
Yeah.
so that's a very simple way to verify those certificates. And so we wrote that ages ago, together with some students over a weekend, with in at Craft Academy, um, and we've been using it ever since. And again, we tried to move away from this. We were running our own instance of edX, open edX software, and we have another LMS now that actually can create certificates, but there is no verification process on them. So I rather have this very simple verification than none, and so therefore we kept this one around. And in our to-do lists, there is always this, you know, point where we say we need to do a rewrite of this, but there's also always more important things being put on the to-do list. So we have down prioritized this. But what I see here is that I need to uh, to update the stack because it's running on Cedar 16, and I need to update this to Heroku 20, I think. So I need to do that at some point, but not today. Today I need to see. We have the Bocado server, this one, and I need to see if I can do a deploy pipeline app connected to GitHub by Tochma. Oh yes, so I already could disconnect, enable automatic deploys. I should probably do that. Um, and we're on master, so it's a very simple setup, so I can just enable this. Um,
So that means when you merge on master, it will automatically do the
yeah,
deploy.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly. And I can do a manual deploy here because I already merged this. Or did I merge this? Yeah, I did merge this, right. So I can just deploy this branch, and that should be okay. Which means that if this is okay, then we can deploy the. I can merge the. I can merge the client side as well. So on the client side, we're using Netlify for deployment. Let's see if this works now, or if this fails. While this is doing its job, I'm just gonna fill up my coffee. Okay, be right back.
Yep. All right. Thanks, Thomas. Already. So, yeah, just as you're away, I will just tell our viewers about Agile Ventures. And so Agile Ventures is a UK-based charity. And Thomas and I have learned so much from it, and Gideon as well. Gideon has actually been part of the guys who contribute to me learning so much on the Agile Ventures platform. And there, what we do is like we try to bridge the gap between tutorials and working on real life projects by probably contributing to open source projects. for instance, we'll do what we are doing right now with Thomas. So people will join a VS Code session and code on the same thing, ask questions and learn, and stream live their videos so that people can learn. Apologies for the background noise. Those are just the little piggies making their way into life. So that's actually what we do. And Thomas and I are actually planning on a boot camp. It will be like a 6 week boot camp kind of thing. 8 weeks, I think. Thomas is now currently coming up with the um, with the curriculum, and yeah, we will be running the micro boot camp so as to do maybe an intro to programming and get guys make guys have the confidence of working together and collaborating on real life projects like the one we are working on right now. So yeah, with the experience running Craft Academy, I think Thomas has a lot of resources that he's compiling up so that we can make that bootcamp a success here. I see Thomas, you're back. I don't know if you have anything um,
No,
to add.
absolutely. It's awesome that you mentioned this. I came in at the end, so with the risk of repeating what you just said,
Yeah,
the 8 weeks uh, of instructor led and or partially instructor led activities, um, led by me and Mike, of course. The structure is we're thinking about having instructor-led sessions on weekends, and oh no, sorry, instructor-led sessions on weekdays, afternoons, and then study groups and support session on weekends. That's the general idea at this point. We haven't hammered it out yet, but we have like since um, I'm running a coding boot camp in Sweden. We have a lot of resources and course materials and stuff like that. So the thing that we're considering including the introduction to programming a course that we are hosting in order to lay the foundation for people uh, to get into programming and software development, and then introducing a curriculum that we call web application development with React.js. And so we would focus a lot on the front end, but also build an understanding that all modern applications, they use data sources like APIs one way or another. So we need to include some networking and consuming APIs, perhaps even writing a little bit of API functionality and so on. But I think you know uh, definitely training exams, and final exams to make sure that people have gained a good understanding of this thing. Definitely some sort of a capstone project, something that they build together. As Mike was saying, that is the best way to learn and to actually build things. And at the end of the road, we would issue certificates like the one I was just showing you, but of course branded with both Craft Academy um, and Agile Ventures, of course. But the most important thing, for the people that would attend this bootcamp, is a letter of recommendation from me and from Mike as their instructors. To include in their CV when they go out looking for a job, because at the end of the day, that is what it's all about. I know, learning is fun, but you really want to get a job and move into this industry. That would be the primary objective of this camp. I think I covered it all, right, Mike? I think together in between us, we kind of have a good understanding what this is about and how we're going to play this.
yeah. Perfect. Yeah, makes total sense. So yeah, we will be communicating this more as we stream, and
Mhm.
uh, yeah, as the plan hots up. people will know, our audience will know. And yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. And the question is also, what is this? Why don't I have it? Did I merge this by any chance yesterday? Are you shitting me? Hold on a second. I must have been tired yesterday. Yeah, I said to myself, do not merge this until the backend is merged. And apparently I don't know, I got a blackout or something, and I did merge this yesterday, 11 hours ago. That was late night, I guess. I don't know. Uh, Shit. Let's have a look at Netlify then. Well, let's have a look at the thing. Um, this is the website, and we're just gonna go for restaurants. Yeah, it is already deployed. Join, and we're gonna have. So this is the live website. So we probably want to be careful with this, but I can always go in and remove that later, so it doesn't matter. So let's just say the joint, and then the description, really good food, and main email address. I will just say, okay, so I will say Thomas, and we don't have emailing set up, but I'm just gonna say, test one at craftacademy.se. You know about this life hack, Mike, right? That if you use a Gmail address, or G Suite based address, then you can always add this plus and some text after your name. So like, you know, you you use Mike at agileventures.org, right? That is your
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So you could say Mike plus. Like you're signing up for The Guardian, for instance, right? You want to make sure that they don't sell your address, because they promise that they won't sell your email address. So you just say Mike plus The Guardian at agileventures.org. Do you understand?
uh-huh.
And this will work. Every G Suite based address will accept this. And then, fast forward a year or so, or 6 months or so, and all of a sudden you get some advertisement for Viagra or whatever. Do you understand? And
Yeah,
and that is sent to Mike plus the Guardian at adventures.org. Then you know that the email was leaked from that service. Do you understand? And because and then you can give them shit. Say, why did you sell my address to these Viagra sellers? You know.
oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. And also, so that's one use case. But another use case is that if you are in your test, manual testing, hallway testing, you have this uniqueness of email addresses, right? So if I set this up now, this is a unique email address. The system will treat this as a unique email address, so I can always use that for that purpose as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense, and it's a big lesson. I've never used that. Yeah,
Yeah. So
thank you.
for instance, this address and this address are two different email addresses. So that's how they will be treated in by the system. Oh, I need to change this password to a password field later on. But anyway, let's create this and see what we get.
Right.
Let's open up the DevTools, uh, and let's see if we get some errors. Yes, we got an internal server error. What the damn it! All right, undefined. Well, thank you very much. Why is that happening? Oh, okay. That's a good thing. We need to right. Bum 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 bum. Settings. Right. How do I open a console here? Well, I could do this instead. Right. Oh shit. Bum bum bum. Git remote add Heroku. This git remote add Heroku. This right, and then we say Heroku. Heroku run Rails Rails console. I don't know if I have my SSH key set up. No, I need to install Heroku CLI. I didn't do that. New computer. Install Heroku CLI.
Yeah, I was expecting that.
Yeah. Right, there it is. Brew tap Heroku brew install. Oh yeah, you could just do this. Right. Right. So let's get into that. Did Gideon try to join us in the live share while this is installing?
I'm not sure if he did. I haven't seen him in the
No.
participant list.
You also need.
Uh, yeah. Gideon, I don't know if you're having trouble to join. We want to hear your voice.
Exactly. We need a voice behind the man. You also need to specify the app. The app. When I want to run the. You mean when I want to run the Rails console? Not sure I have to. Uh, Instruction mission. I call Heroku. Run the following install this. Install. Run and follow the install steps. Heroku autocomplete. What is that? But I am logged in. Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Anyway, that was just so now I should be able to run the Rails console. I don't have to specify the app if I only have one remote setting up set up as the remote, so that's not needed. Let's see if we can get this. We got a 500 on this. That was fun that we got a subscriber yesterday. That was awesome. So the subscriber is like paying $4 or something a month to follow me on Twitch. That was unexpected, but it was fun to. So we had Hunter in yesterday in US, you in Africa, and I'm in Europe. Mike, that was
Yeah.
kind of cool. That's the best part of collaborating.
Yeah. It's really nice.
Let's see. Let's have a look at the user.last. There's nothing here. Right, that's not the one. So let's quit this and do Heroku logs -t. No, well, okay, fuck you. Heroku. Right, so it did a fatal relation vendors does not exist. Okay, that's because we should have thought of it. I deployed but I didn't migrate. Do you understand? Heroku run Rails DB migrate. I didn't migrate, so the vendors.
I thought Heroku would take care of the migration while doing the deploy.
It is well, you have to set it up, and I didn't set it up in the auto deploy. So
Okay.
So I think that I'm not even sure that I can do it with that deploy pipeline. That we get automatically out of Heroku. We can have a look at that in just a second. But let's see. Let's run the logs. Let's make the logs a little smaller. We can put them up here. Oh, you can't really see them. Let's put them up here, and let's put the website here. And let's hide the chat box for a second. Right, and then we're just gonna go back to this guy, and we're gonna create his profile again, and we can see the output on the console and the server output. So let's see if that works now. Right, because because of what? Right. All right. So let's just redo this again. Hold on a second. Well, okay. Restaurant. I should probably run this on my local host instead. Description, whatever, and then Thomas again plus test one. That's what you get when you don't do things properly. Right. It's a 422. It's an unprocessable entity. So there's something wrong with the parameters. It's something wrong with the params. Why would that be? I shouldn't have merged this. I moved too fast. I don't know what happened in my head yesterday. Why would I press this fucking green button? The problem is that we're not sending this off properly. Okay, so we're in the live share on this code, right? At this point, let me see if I can, Mike. Let me see if I can open up. No, I'm going to open up a new window instead. Right, I'm going to open up a new window, and I'm going to open this thing, and I'm going to just no, fuck that. Oh, god damn it! I had it open already. So here we go. Come on, give me a fucking break. Where are you? There we are. Right, so why the hell... So what does this data look like? What? I have the wrong... So... Params... Shit, and I'm also hard coding this, which is unnecessary. Oh, fuck. Because how can I test this manually now? How can I test this? Right. Well, okay. So think. We could, in principle, just take a look at. No, come on. There we go. Right. So if we go to network, and we go to vendors, and we take a look at the headers, response request headers, request payload. Right. Right. I don't know what I was thinking. This is totally wrong. This is not how you want to make the request. I mean, not this structure is not working. What the fuck was I thinking? This is so embarrassing. This is so embarrassing. It's not business. It's supposed to be called vendor, and then you see it's supposed to be called vendor and user, and not business info and user info. The fuck was I thinking? Oh god, that's why you don't. You don't merge shit like this usually. Oh fuck. So now I need to swiftly move on to You're muted, but perhaps you're laughing at me, Mike. But it's very good that you mute yourself when you laugh at me. That's
Yeah, I was running away from these guys, and they've just followed me to the new hiding place.
oh,
And
okay, okay.
yeah,
It's all right. It's all right.
it
Yeah,
took it so much hard work to run.
no problems. Okay, I'm just gonna. I need to check out master here. Right, I need to check out this one. And first of all, I need to close all of this stuff. Uh, right, let's just close this. Fuck, 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 fuck. Okay, so I'm on master and I need to pull down everything. Pull from. Right, we can use pull from. Right, this one we want to pull down the master branch, and we should have the vendor set up. Uh, right, services vendor.
I must have missed a bit of the problem during my relocation.
I can tell you what the problem is, my friend. The problem is that I am just
Okay.
sloppy and stupid. That's my problem. Uh, the problem is that
Yeah, I heard that bit.
you heard that bit, okay?
Yeah,
So the problem is that for some fucking
yeah.
for some reason, I don't know, tired, just retarded or whatever, but when I was building this initially, I was like, okay, so let's divide this into business info and user info sections on this model, right? And then I let that slip into the
Yeah.
data structure that I'm sending off to the server, which is not what I need to do, because I need to say, the parameters that are being sent off, they need to look in a specific way, and we know what they're supposed to look because I'm using that in this test, right? So it should say vendor and user and not business info and user info. Do you understand? So that's the problem. So
Okay, yeah.
yeah, so the fix is very easy, and that is actually in this. Uh,
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's in this form where we just say here we just say vendor and we say user here, right? And that would probably fix that, because the rest of the things are corresponding with with how the parameters look like or attributes look like on the backend. So this is the only, I think that's the uh, only uh,
Problem.
only problem. But in order to make that happen, I need of course I need to run my tests here. Uh, Right, so I need to cd and then pran, so there we go, and then we're just gonna do yarn. But fuck, let's just git stash this, uh, and let's check out a new branch, dash b, params fix, or fuck, I need to be vendor create params fix. Not vendor, but vendor, please. There we go. And now we do git stash pop. And we're good on that. And now we do yarn cypress. And to figure out whether we are... But perhaps I already had cypress up and running. Okay, so no kill all node. Come on. Fuck off. There we go. That should do it. Are we running anything? Well, let's see. On this terminal. Right, so no, we're good to go. So we can just do yarn cypress here, and we're gonna run them. That was so embarrassing. It's such a noob mistake, It's like, But what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Right. So vendor can set up a profile. Let's just run this one for now. Here we are. Right, local joint. Right. So this worked now, but it's not a guarantee that everything else will work on the server. But I think so. So that's the problem with this kind of separated approach, that you totally separate the backend from the front end in your test environment, because you need to be really careful with validating the data structures and what it looks like, you know. Uh, so
Yeah.
yeah, I should have known this because I'm the guy writing this. But in a team, I can understand that you can make a mistake like this, because sometimes the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. You know, that's okay. But I should have known this. I am the one doing this, right? So let me just.
Yeah. So yeah, about that. So in most teams, I think they've come towards using documenting the stuff before they start the work.
Yes,
For
yes,
instance, they will use how is this guy called? There's this guy for documenting APIs.
yeah.
Uh,
So we use Swagger or we use something else, like, you know.
Swagger, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But
Swagger,
basically, in its
yeah.
simplest
So
form, you just decide that
yeah,
this is the structure of the JSON that I want to receive. You know, as an
yeah,
API, you say, okay, in order to create this object, I need you, the front end guys, give me this, right? And then you decide on the structure of the parameters, right? And then you say, if I
yeah,
get this from you, then you will get this from me, right? And in this
yeah,
case, you know, I had this because, you know, in this test, this is the happy path. So I knew what it should look like. I knew it should have a vendor, and then, you know, at least this. I don't have to pass in the address attributes. I will deal with that in a separate thing. But I need to pass in these three things and these four things, right, on the user. But yet I still
yeah,
call this
yeah,
something. You know, those keys were not called the same thing. So that's the fuck upness of
yeah,
me. Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
um,
Yeah. And yeah, and also just to maybe throw another argument in, I think that's where GraphQL beats REST. Um,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
because I think with GraphQL you can just give with GraphQL you can just give the whole you can just give like a whole the objects, and then the front end will just query what they want. You don't have to specify for the front end what structure
Okay.
the query should be.
Okay.
But yeah,
But in the post
so,
requests
you,
type, now, like the thing that we're doing now, do you think that there's an upside
yeah.
in creating objects as well?
Mm. So like you're posting. Uh,
So with getting, I can see that, of course. But I wonder. I mean, the data needs to be
with
structured in one way or another, anyway, right?
yes, yes. I think so. So I think what GraphQL will do, it will have like the required fields and the fields that are not required. But still, yeah, I think with post it doesn't make sense. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. At least it's worth looking into at some point. But I don't. I'm not sure. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll figure it out. But it's an interesting thought. Let's see if we can. Registration form, and then fix for bad. No, let's say fixes params structure. Fixes param structure. Let's just do that. Do this. Push this up. And we're just gonna push this up to origin. And now we need to go in here. This is the Pranzo thing. Right, so I need to create a PR. And we're just gonna say call this fix. It's almost a hot fix, but let's just call it fix. And then right,
It's really hot.
yeah, it's hot. Yeah. I'm gonna merge this actually. I'm gonna eat this up again, so you shouldn't be in too much of a hurry. Let's see if we can go to Netlify. Oh yeah, what did I use? I used GitHub, right? Yeah. Again, new computer. There we go. Right.
Mhm.
So Pranzo is being awaiting capacity. I can stop this one. Or no, let's see. This is the preview. Right, so I can cancel this deploy. Let's just this is the real deploy. Right. So now we're gonna wait for that to happen. I have a problem with my coffee maker. My coffee maker turns itself off sometimes, which means that I have to drink fairly cold coffee. So that's not good. But I have a very nice mug. I have my V for Vendetta. Have you seen that movie? If you haven't seen V for Vendetta, you should
Yeah,
definitely see
cold
it.
coffee. Yeah, cold coffee, no good. No
No,
good.
it's not. Come on. So yeah, let's talk about your. Did you ever hook up with Ethan yesterday? He said that he wanted to pair with you on that project, but he didn't, right?
Yeah, yeah. He didn't specify the time. I think he's unavailable
Yeah, well, he's not available
until
for our
end of
meeting this
today.
afternoon, so
So probably, yeah, he's not available today. So he is probably available tomorrow,
okay.
or maybe.
Yeah, we need to get started on on your stuff as well. I'll, I'll,
Oh yeah,
I will.
I'm just seeing your mug on Twitch. So yeah,
Yeah,
that delayed.
yeah. So I have another half an hour right now. I can be back later tonight, but you know how it is. Family's gonna wake up soon and so on. So, but let's just merge this in, and then we can at least get started with your stuff. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Good. Let's see. Deploying site is live. Okay, we're good to go. Um, let's have a look at this one then. Let's reload the page. Clear this. Join Pranzo. Uh, let's move this a little bit out of the way, and I need to see the logs. Heroku logs. Right. We should be good on this one. Okay, so let's business name. Let's just give it Craft Academy. Craft Academy email address. Thomas plus test one, and then we're gonna. That's the primary email of this um, of this um, of this restaurant, and then test two for my, and then just password, and let's hit the create profile button. Thank you. Yes, now it worked. We have a call. We got a 201 here, and we got the response.
Okay.
Yay, that's good. We got exactly what we came here for. You see that? We have a system user for everything. That's awesome. That's awesome. But
All right.
well, it's kind of all right. But I did no. There's something wrong here. Because I did include. What the fuck? Didn't I include? Oh fuck, man. Jesus, I am making a fool of myself. I think I did include addresses. Do you understand? Uh, fuck. Look in this serializer on the vendors.
Mm-hmm.
We should see the even if it's an empty array. We should get the primary email and the addresses, and we're not getting that. Do you see that? We didn't get that. Well, it's very small. Perhaps you can't read it.
Yeah.
We didn't get the addresses.
Yeah, I see you're in the VS Code.
Yeah. Well, at the moment I'm I'm showing you the response that we got for after creating this, right? And it only contains description, ID, and name on the vendor. You understand? And
Mm-hmm.
it should
Yeah.
include ID, name, description, but also the primary email, and it also should include, even if we don't have any addresses, it should be an empty array with addresses,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't contain that. So I made another mistake.
So that's from the response side of it.
Yeah, yeah, that's a response.
Okay.
So I just need to
Yeah.
figure out
Okay.
what the fuck did I do with this one, because I'm starting to get a bit irritated with me making all these mistakes at all time. So let's have a look. So let's go to the Bocado API, and we have a pull request. There is no pull request here because I already merged this one. And let's vendor create revisited an hour ago, and that contains that change, right? So no, it does not. No, it does not contain that change. What the hell did I do now? Oh God. Let's so git status. Did I vendor create? What the fuck did I do? Vendor create revisited and git. Okay, git log one line. What the hell did I do now? Adds address serializers and spec for. Oh, and then misspelled that, but okay, that's not a problem. And my commits here are. Oh fuck. Okay, alright, so shit, fuck. Okay, right, git checkout. I'm gonna fix this now. Dash b fix version 2. I'm gonna check out this from this git push origin. Why is my autocomplete not working? I hate when that happens. Version 2. I'm not in a good place at the moment. Right, so let's just open this serializer. Adds address serializer. Right, so we're just gonna make this another fix thing. Serializer. Oh, who gives a fuck about spelling mistakes? Right. So we're just gonna merge this, and we're gonna go here to Heroku. No, this is Heroku. We're just gonna update this. This is actually deploying now. Hopefully. Where's the deployment? Well, deploy. There it is. automatic deploys from master. Right, out connected to GitHub, automatic deploys. Right, it learn more. Right. So we say for activity today at 8:54. That's not it. Build succeeded deployed. Why isn't it deploying? Because I haven't merged this? No, I did merge this, right? Not yet, perhaps. Now I have to merge this. Okay, so there we go. And now it should start deploying. No. But I just merged this. Oh, there it is. Now it builds in progress. Okay. So now the auto deploy works. Okay, good. And I'm just, in the meantime, I'm gonna, while that this is deploying, I'm just gonna go in here and I'm gonna say Heroku run Rails console. And I'm just gonna remove the last vendor, because that was just a test, a manual test that we wanted to run. Right, so we're just gonna say vendor.last, and that would be hello dude. Jesus Christ, we have some people asking, creating them. So hello dude, thank you very much for that. Vendor does less users. That's the system user. Who created the hello dude? Destroy. So hello dude will no. Why can't we still reference from table users? Oh, so I have to add a dependent destroy on this one. So we're gonna turn this into a staging server probably, but right. I can just do this. No. So user.last, and that would be dude. Right, so let's destroy this one, and then we just do vendor last destroy. Right, and so now we can just do vendor last again, and that would be another one. Right, vendor ID name. So
seems it created a couple more from.
Yeah. Right. So user last would be also a system. You see, we have a problem here because we don't have proper validations on these things. You understand? So we can allow for almost null values. So this is definitely a problem, and I know where that originates from. So we need to destroy that, and now we need to destroy the.
You wanna?
Go ahead.
So, yeah, I was just asking if you want to create an issue to remind you of that.
If I had a tracker, I would probably create an issue. I don't have a tracker for this one. It's a hobby project. I have a pen and a paper, so I'm going to write it down.
So Git has this Git issues thing.
Oh yeah. I could do that. So the API, right? So issues, right? New issue. Add validation for user email. When creating a user in during the vendor create process, we need to make sure we run validations on the user model. Now the problem is that I uh, of, of user during the vendor create right. That was it because I'm not using a device controller.
Yeah.
I'm doing it manually, so that's why I fucked that one up.
Yeah.
That which brings us to another issue, and that is that you know hallway testing, manual testing is really really important. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, so I remember when I was learning this a few years ago together with Sam, for instance. We had this idea that um, um, hold on a second. Right, that automated tests will fix every problem that we might face. But I think we over the years I've learned that we are a bit overconfident sometimes with thinking that the developers can come up with all the test cases and follow all the procedures and all of that stuff, so that we can
Yeah.
build foolproof system or flow. Right? I think that this kind of tests, like hallway tests, having a staging server and running manual testing and just really tweaking everything back and forward is also
Mm-hmm.
valuable, definitely. You know. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
so I'm gonna quit this now, um, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna git checkout master.
And maybe when you say hallway testing, you mean you just walk in the hallway and get a random person
Yeah,
and
so
ask
to
them to
actually
test.
create have them use your application somehow, right? But also
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
hallway testing is one concept, but also manual testing, like really going through everything. So hallway
Yeah.
testing is perhaps not the appropriate term if you work with APIs, of course, because you can't have people going into your um, your backend. But I would say that I would like ask, for instance, you to say, okay, just use this application for an hour, right? Or go through this process, create a vendor or create a purchase a card, and then I would monitor that behavior from the backend. Like I have to have my console app and check the database and some other monitoring tools, and just have you use it, and then I would be able to listen to your experience afterwards, saying that, oh Thomas, this was easy to use or bad to use, I got an error on this and that, but also to monitor it from a backend perspective, perhaps checking out the objects if everything worked, or running some monitoring tools uh, in the backend. So I think it's important to do this manual stuff. That's
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Must just pull this down. Right. Okay, so now we have this problem. Motherfucker, git.
We just have a reader.
Git log, not origin. I mean one line. Let's see, one line. So the last one is the merge pull request from voucher variants. Okay, so this is the problem. Uh, okay, git. Let's see, how do I want to do this? Yeah, I want to do git branch. I'm just right. Git checkout. And git pull origin master. I'm lucky. I miss one commit. Oh god. So let's just force this then. Fuck it. No, can't force this. Putting without specifying how to reconcile the git config rebase false merge rebase git config pull rebase ff. Yeah, I just want to do fast forward only. Actually, I don't want to rebase this. Already up to date. Well, then, really. So I should be. Well, then what's. Okay, so git checkout master. Right, and git pull origin master. Already up to date. So what? Okay. All right. Well, then I'm okay. And what did I do here? Git unrecognized argument origin. Right. So let's have a look at this logs now. Booting. Right. I should be mysterious change up and complete. Okay. So let's try this again, so that we can see that we got the right response. Right. Let's reload. Right, and then we're gonna join this, and I'm gonna say Craft Academy mail email address plus test 1, and then we're just gonna do test 2, password, and we should be okay. Right, so thank you for this. Okay, and then we're just gonna check this vendor, and now we have the right. You see, now we have an empty addresses array, and we have the primary email, and we have the users return. So now we're good. And now if people want to create users for some reason, they can do that, because it doesn't really matter. I will purge this database anyway later. But that's totally okay. And so the next step will be, as we said yesterday, emailing out some notifications and stuff like that. That could be another feature. But for now, we are good to go on this one.
The sign up.
Thank you. And we also see that we got some a raid with 15 people. I truly appreciate that. LJTech.ca, thank you very much for raiding us. And we got some new followers, which is highly appreciated. We're doing we're trying to do some Rails API development and React front end. You caught us with at least with my pants down, because I really fucked up a few processes, which is not very. I wish you believe me when I say it's not very representative of my coding standards, but we all fuck up sometimes, and so today I was the one. I truly appreciate the raid, and I will automatically just go on and check out who you are. I guess I'm following you, or perhaps I'm not. Let's see. Where's Twitch? Here it is. Twitch.com, and we're just gonna check out this. Sorry, unless you have a time machine. What? Oh, because there we go. No exclamation mark. No time machine? Really? I don't understand this. Uh, what am I? What am I? What am I missing here? There you are. Right. Awesome. What do you do for a living? I mean, what do you do for streaming? You are. It's gonna click this. Coding with Web API with React and and Next.js. Wow, cool, 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 cool. I love that. So I'm gonna follow you. Thank you very much for the raid. I truly appreciate that. Um, and we'll check out what you're doing. UI design, awesome. And right, right. Cool, great stuff. Let's close this, and we are um, good to go. Many thanks. Let's see. There we go. Okay. Um, let's stop this. Let's stop this. Let's just have a look at what we've done here. So this one is all merged, and the other one that we did is also merged. We have no up open pull requests on this one. Office param structures. Why would this fail for me? Oh, because I stopped it. Okay, I stopped the. Oh, why is this? Never mind. I stopped the preview. That's why we're getting a red badge on this one. Okay, so let's have a look. So I have like 10 more minutes to go, or actually, like 8. Um, I don't have much time left on this particular stream. Um, do you want to started with looking at this Agile Ventures project, or what do you want to? What do you think we should do?
Yeah, sure. We can start. We can just start looking at the issues and see if
Yeah.
there's something that we can.
And what was the name of the repo again?
KCSC or something. Just get there.
Let's see.
GitHub.
I think you sent it to me in Slack the other day, didn't you?
I don't think I
No.
sent the repo name. I just sent the website
Yeah.
again.
So not KCSC, but community.
CIC website, yeah. CIC. Community.
Is this the one?
It was long.
No.
Sorry, I'm not. CIC website, yeah, that's the one.
CIC website. Is that the one?
Yes, CIC.
Yeah. Okay, I gotcha. Okay, and so you had this email with some issues, right? Perhaps we should actually follow your advice and create some issues on this.
Yeah, perhaps I should. Yep.
Well, what we could do in principle is just to get that email that I got from you. Let's see if I open this on. First of all, for the people who are interested, so this is an open source project that is being run by by some developers at Agile Ventures for this organization. I just posted a link in chat, and we got like some fixes request, right? You could say that. You sent that
Yeah,
off.
feature
You sent that off to my Agile Ventures account,
requests.
right? So let's see if we can get mail
Yeah.
from there. And right, so I'm just gonna put this. Oh, that was quite a lot of things. Let's see. We probably need to create various, various issues on everyone. But it's okay. So we get some items needed, right? So items needed. Just add this. Some content tweaks. Reconfigure content on tiles. One new page. About us as the main menu item. Remove. Let's just format this first. So one new page, and so he wanted this to be. Can we? Is that how you do that? Yeah, exactly. And then include. Well, this was actually a subsection of that one. So we would do 1 2 1 2, and then partners. 1 2. No. There was a lot of bullet points in this one. 1 2 1 2, and then that was 1 2. Right. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Right. And then you had case studies, also a sub like this, and then another new 1 2 1 2, and then 4 of them here. 1 2 1 2, like this, and then this. Right. So let's preview this. Yeah, that's what the email looked like, right? On this, in this context. So we're gonna be rewriting this.
So
And lab
hello.
codes. Thank you for
I don't know if
that.
you can hear me.
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, I was just saying my Twitch is sort of acting up
yeah, I can hear
because
that,
of
but that's
my
okay.
connection, which is terrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm not full.
Right. That's okay. That happens.
But I assume
Which one do you want to like? All of these things,
I'm just
which
issues.
you're breaking
Yeah.
up a little bit here, but which one do you think is the lowest hanging fruit here?
Please come.
Okay, let's get fixed.
Hello.
Yes, I hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yes.
Right. Which one of these would you consider being the lowest hanging fruit that we could start working on, or perhaps
Not use
work on
it.
independently? Um, is there anything that you think we should focus on?
So one of the issues that I thought we could look at together was the issue with the map.
Mm-hmm.
So they say that okay, the map is a little bit slow
Yeah.
loading up.
And when they say slow, they mean that it's a performance issue, like on their computer. I mean, always slow, or how do they mean? What
Yeah.
do they? Yeah.
So we have the map in.
Yeah. You're breaking up a little bit. Let's have a look at the map itself. Right. Uh, where is?
Embedded on one and
Yeah. So where is the map? Is that on the health professionals or where?
on so the map is in the residence,
Right.
and then uh, I, when you look at self-care social prescribing directory, that link,
Right.
it loads the map. Uh,
Oh, okay.
I
So
think it's not
I
enough.
recognize this. So this is the what's left of this local support interface that we built back in the days. I understand. I recognize this.
Yeah,
And so
yeah,
they mean that the map is slow in terms of when you load this page, or
yeah. What they mean is that when you load this page, it takes a while. Of course, it has to take a while linking to, like we're embedding this page inside
yeah,
another web page, so it has to be loaded with
yeah,
its resources.
yeah. So there isn't much we can do
So
about
for
that.
me, I don't think it
Right.
yeah, yeah. For me, yeah, with my very slow internet, I think it's bearable
Yeah.
unless there's something else, because it takes like 2 to 3 seconds to load. So,
Right.
three.
So you are loading quite a. So you have a very long period of time here. You have almost like what is this? Um, 2,000 milliseconds, which is like 2 seconds, right?
Two
And
seconds, yes.
the whole page loads. Uh, but there's an iframe. What is the iframe doing?
So it's the iframe where we are embedding we are using an iframe to embed the map on that website.
Okay, but
Yeah.
so so and where's this? Okay, so is this the iframe? It's being hosted on a different app and being rendered there.
Yes, yes. It's actually hosted on the local support
Okay. Yeah.
app that you guys worked on, and then we have
Oh, okay. I
we
got you.
have it
I got you. I
deployed.
got you. So
Yeah,
this is the
yeah,
actual.
yes.
Okay, and okay, okay. And why is that? Why did you choose that solution?
Um, because they wanted to have the map on more than one website, and
Hmm.
they want to have their own website.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. So I totally understand. So here's the deal. In my opinion, to be honest, there is nothing we can do about the performance on this site. Like apart from a rewrite, so we do not host this from the HCN, right? The Haro Community Network website. Like if you were embedding this as an iframe, then you are making a call to this website first. Then this website is making a call to the you know to the place where this is actually being hosted, and that will take time. There's with this solution, there's not much we can do about it, to be honest. So, like,
yeah,
do you know? I see that we are hosting this on a Heroku server. Is this
yeah.
is this a real server? Like, with I mean, is this a free instance, or is it a low scale solution, or what sort of a server is this being run on?
I think it's paid. I'm not certain. Yeah, I think it's paid. Yes. I can check my Heroku.
Yeah, I used to have access to those Heroku instances myself, but I think that they removed that a while back.
KCSC. I think it charges like $7 a month. Yes, $7 a month for.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a small instance. Okay. So performance-wise, that will
Yeah.
always be a problem. Uh,
Yeah.
right. Right. As you can see, this load time is fairly slow. There's nothing,
Yeah.
no doubt about that. That it will take time because there's almost 2.5 second load time, which could be perceived as a fairly long thing, long period of time, definitely. Um, but I would say that it would call for a rewrite.
Yeah.
We should basically just host it on their. I mean, we could write some, I don't know, JavaScript, whatever, and just include that locally. But there's a lot of logic behind this map because we need to place all the markers and all of that stuff. It's probably a Rails application that runs it in the background, right?
Yeah, it's a Rails application that runs in the background. Yeah.
Right. No, embedding iframes is always time consuming.
Yeah.
It's always going to be time consuming. Pum. Okay, so I mean, I would say not map some issues. Case is still live, still showing once you start using the map and click through on an item. It's worth removing that from the third site when map is hosted. Because opens. I don't understand what they're saying here.
So KCC live.
Well, what is library?
Oh yeah. So what they mean, yeah, what they mean is when you click on the like on the map, when you click on one of the items, like cycle for well-beings, something like that, because we are getting these from the KCSC website, kcsc.agileventures.org. So when you click on that, it opens up a new page outside, and then that kind of has the banner of KCSC. I don't know whether you clicked on that already. My screen has sort of hung.
Okay, I'm not sure. How do you mean? You mean like let's see. Let's reload this page now, right? And if I click on any of the markers, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, not precisely the markers, but on the list view down here, you have the list. On the bottom right, is it bottom right? There's a box that has the list. One of them is written cycle for well-being. Yeah, that list.
Yeah.
So if you click on one of those, it opens. It opens a page outside this website, and they don't want it to be going to that website.
This is the original. This is the original thing. Yeah, I recognize this one. I think I implemented this cookie policy back in the old days. So what do they want this to be done then? What do
they want us to remove the? They want us to remove the header. You see that?
This Kensington and Chelsea Social. This header. Right. But
like,
hold on a second. It's a fucking embed. It's an iframe. So what do they want? They want to override this altogether, or? Right.
Yeah, I think they want us to send. Yeah, it's difficult what they want us to do. For
Yeah,
example, if you do like a if you add like a parameter on that site and say iframe equals all,
yeah.
uh,
You you
that
mean
will
we
do
could
away
make
with
this? So what you're saying is that we should make this this banner dynamic, like so, it would recognize where the traffic comes from, and change this banner
yeah.
to something else. Yeah.
Yes. So
Okay.
yeah. So it recognizes that it comes from an iframe, so that it hides
Okay.
or
Okay.
doesn't
Okay.
hide.
Okay. And it's a is this a like a hard requirement for them to have fixed on the 12th? That's
No.
I don't think that's going to happen, to be honest. I mean, this is a major rewrite of their local support um, code base, you know.
Yeah.
So that's what we could do instead. But they still want those links to be functional, right? They
Yes. Yes.
want.
They still want those links to be
Yeah,
functional.
because what we could do is using. I mean, we could write a JavaScript script to tap into this box of links and just either remove those links or modify them so they go to somewhere else. You know, once the iframe is loaded, we can interact with this iframe and go through the code and just um, just add.
Oh yeah.
Just have it point to another server or directly to this creative arts music performance, for instance, right? I don't know if there's there's a website, so we could go directly to the website instead. But I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. So what I think, in essence, what they mean also is that when we should, like you're saying, once it's loaded from the iframe,
Yeah,
we can add that iframe equals all parameter, and that will always hide the the banner
yeah,
as they wish.
yeah. But isn't Kensington and Chelsea Social Council the same people that are running this health community health, I mean, this website? Aren't
They
they?
are the same people, but I think this is like like it's a partnership,
Mm-hmm.
and KCSE is part of that partnership. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like Community Health West London, and then with that we have KCSE and many other organizations that form uh, uh, Community Health West London.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
All right, but
like if you go to the partners, yeah.
like we go to partners, we can check out this. Okay. Right. There's yes, supporting voluntary. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, what we would need to do is to just check out the. So, is that repo called still called local support? I think it is, right?
Yes, it's called local support.
Right. And this is an all like regular style uh, Rails application. The one of the okay, so it's a full stack thing. So we could just inspect this, and that is called image asset KCS logo web. Right. So it's called KCS logo. Right, and so we could do a search here.
So from my side, I don't know.
I don't. Where is that? What can I find? Self-care community.
Maybe this is one of those. This is one of those we'd better do.
Right. class brand, find self-care. Right, let me just try to find this on
Meet will be.
What? I can't really see any. So, okay. On layouts, not layouts, but so the header is the setting large banner path. Okay, so you have the set. Okay, so you work with settings here and site brand. Okay, so you can. Okay. Right. So you could change those settings potentially. All right. You know what? This is interesting enough to work on, but I think that they you, they ask for a lot, to be honest. To remove those, because an embed is an embed. Um, what we could do,
Yeah.
an easy thing would be to actually embed this view and stay within their website and embed this as an iframe. Do you understand? And leave out
Yeah.
the header. That could be a way. We can modify those links. But anyway, you know what, Mike, I would like you to go through these issues and try to prioritize them. If you could do that, like really
Yeah.
create one issue per the one new issue per item that you think we should prioritize, and then we can start working on this and get this out of the way. But I think that yeah.
I'm just gonna do that because there are some issues that are really easy to do. I'd even do them maybe between now and when we meet.
Yeah.
And there are some that maybe when we meet in the afternoon we can.
Yeah, and there's a pivotal tracker on this one, or
Yeah.
a Trello board, right? So probably try to fix them, whether you want to fix them in, add them in there or whatever. But we need to work through
Yeah.
this list one by one, basically, right? And
Yes.
then we can. But I think we can make the 12th deadline if that's what they want on some of the issues, but not everything. I don't think that's gonna fly, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, I'm going to wrap this
All
up.
right.
Over 2 hours now. I want to thank you, of course, Mike, for joining in, and I want to thank for the raid and all the new followers. We're doing a lot of Rails and React development in this channel, but also Node.js, and we work on projects, but we also do some instruction videos or streams where we talk about various technologies. Test-driven development and behavior-driven design is definitely in focus as much as possible. But in order to keep this a little interesting, I am also doing some development on a software as a service project of mine. That's how we started today. Now at the end of the last 10-15 minutes, we were talking about another open source project that we are involved in, that's been around for a while. But if you find this interesting, follow along. I try to stream at least twice or 3 times a week around noon UTC, 1 o'clock UTC during the day. On weekends we do morning streams like this one, and sometimes even an evening stream. So there's no fixed schedule, but I'm around quite a few times, and Mike is my wingman on this one. So thank you very much, Mike.
Thank you, Thomas. Yeah, it's always fun to do this, and just looking forward to more and more viewers as well.
Awesome. Yeah. I think we all learned something today, one way or another. One thing that I learned is that you should take it easy, and even if it's your own project, you should stick to the flow. That's the important thing.
Yeah.
Right. Have a great day, everyone, and I see you later. Stay cool, stay safe, and stay healthy.
All right.
Wash your hands, people.
All right. Wash your hands. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, guys.